Hey guys, Sandy here. Welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, so it's May I Scraplift You. Now I am scraplifting Scrappy Kathy. You can see her Instagram handle right here. I have scraplifted Kathy before, but I just was scrolling through my feed and she used the background heart maker stencil and it just made my little heart so happy. So I am going to scraplift her. She also made this layout for Calvin Ball. So there's lots of randomness in here. So I'm going to embrace my inner Kathy. And I pulled out a bunch of different die cuts to add some random things. And the photos that I am using, these are Christopher and Lana when she went off to college. So let's see what I can do. Alright guys, I'm starting out with some Bluebird ink from Close to My Heart and my pink and main blender brush. And I kind of knocked my stencil off, so I needed to fix it. And wha-bam! All of the stenciling is done. I am going to pull the stencil off. There is a little bit of not so crisp lines on the stencil, and that's where I shoved my brush underneath of the stencil because I was pushing way too hard. So if you don't want that to happen, don't push your brush too hard. I threw my background into my messy box, which is just an IKEA box. I sprayed some Brutus Monroe Chroma Mist over top my layout in cobalt blue. And now it's time to pull out the random things, embrace my inner Scrappy Kathy, and get going on this layout. Now, I totally copied her for the blue color of the hearts and the splatters. I just said, you know, Kathy used blue, I'm going to use blue. And now this is where I am scrapjacking the essence of Kathy, where I have a bunch of random things. So I'm using some 6x6 papers to go ahead and mat the photo of Lana and also of Christopher. And I have just trimmed down the photos to 4 by 5.5. That makes it super, super easy to use a 6x6 piece of paper for a photo mat. You cut down your 6x6 paper to 4.5 by 6, and it makes a beautiful photo mat with a decent mat around the edge. So now I am going to start putting on my random things. I'm also embracing my own style. I do like to tuck tags underneath of photos when they are like this. In this case though, I'm only doing one. That way it feels a little bit more random. And I am just going through my die cut boxes here, and I am just adding in things that I think will look good. Now, these things, my die cuts are organized in kind of a way that makes sense to me. It might not make sense to you. They aren't really sorted by manufacturer or theme, but they kind of are. It's a mess, guys. It makes sense in my head, but it is hard for other people to understand how my brain works sometimes because it's convoluted. So we don't need any agreements from the peanut gallery over sitting across from me watching me do my voiceover. So I do have like travel-y things in one box. I keep all my flowers together, but not all the flowers, but most of the flowers together. And then however the die cuts make me feel. So again, I'm a very emotional scrapbooker, so they are kind of put together by how they make me feel. Or what kind of feeling I get with those particular products, and that just works for me. Now, these balloons move around the layout. They start off over here on the left, but they are actually going to move inside the page a little bit. And the feather and the free hug ticket, they also moved around the page a little bit. I do reference a couple times in here about hugs because Lana is a hugger, you guys. Like, she is a straight up hugger. She just is. So it's funny, she puts hugs on Christmas lists. Like, I think for the past couple years, #1 thing on her Christmas list is a hug. The girl is a hugger. So I felt like I needed to add on the little nod to Lana through that. I also put my own paper airplane over here on the right hand side because Kathy did have a paper airplane on hers. Hers was a different die cut, but you know what? I totally literally scrapjacking Kathy in that moment as well. So now I'm going to put on more hearts because if you have a layout with a bunch of hearts, of course you need more hearts. So those are going to go down, and now I decide that I need to get into the flower die cut box and die cut, or not die cut, they're already die cut. Just add some of the flowers as well. This is where the balloons make it farther over into the right hand side of the left hand side of the page. That was really convoluted. I just moved it in. Didn't need to say all that, I guess. I am going to add yet another layer over here on the die cuts here in the corner by placing a floral kind of cluster right there, and then I'm going to add a flower over here by the bird. Now the bird, truly random moment here. I feel like flowers, you know, maybe not so random, and definitely the airplane not so random because they are in the airport. So there is that. But you know what? There's still plenty of random on here, right? Right, we're going with it. So I tie a little bow with some silver and white twine because I cannot abide a naked tag hole. So I am going to go ahead and put the bow tie on top of there. And then I think, you know what, I've got this one random heart, that white heart right there, that is kind of shiny and has that kind of epoxy texture to it. So I grabbed these Cocoa Vanilla Studio stickers that were still sitting on my desk, and I added a couple of those in. And then I do reach for some enamel dots. And the enamel dots are in a variety of colors, so I'm kind of mixing them up a little bit. And then I just find 3 places on the layout to cluster up 3 little dots. Now, I'm not going to put a huge traditional title on here. There are plenty of words on here that could be the title. Take your pick. You get to pick the title for this one. So there it is, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure that you check out the links down below for everyone who is playing with May I Scraplift You this week. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.